Welcome to the new video. Given here is the full chapter explanation. We will also help you with solutions for all the questions that are given at the end of the chapter. It's a humble effort to make all the lessons and its solutions more simplified for every student. Please consider subscribing the channel and click the bell icon to be notified of the new videos. Once again, welcome to Class 9 History, Chapter 1, The French Revolution. Revolution means to protest in a group violently against the person or people in power. Why people protest or revolt against the government or administration? When the people are unhappy or when the existing government has no interest in responding to their complaints, or when people want a change, they protest. The French Revolution led to the end of monarchy in France. As we move on, we will discuss the notions of equality, freedom, and the declaration of the rights of man, which were the forces of French Revolution. We will also learn how the common man of France succeeded to overthrow absolute monarchy and establish a republic in France. This chapter tells us the causes or circumstances which led to the revolution and the impact of French Revolution on the other countries of the world. Today, we often take the ideas of liberty, freedom, and equality for granted. But these ideas also have a history. French Revolution began on 14 July 1789 with the storming of the fortress prison Bastille. French Revolution is the most important event in modern history. It spread the ideas of liberty, freedom, equality, and human rights. Now we will move on to the causes or the circumstances which led to the outbreak of French Revolution. To understand what caused the revolution, we have to understand what France was like before it happened. France was an absolute monarchy ruled by Louis XVI of Bourbon family. He became the ruler in 1774. He had the total power over the government and the people. Taxes were increased to meet regular expenses such as the cost of maintaining an army, the court, running government offices or universities. The country of France was divided into 3 estates in the 18th century. The feudal system was part of the society. 90% of the population was peasants, but only a small number of them owned the land they cultivated. 60% of the land was owned by nobles, the church, and other richer members of the third estate. The clergy and the nobility, who were the members of the first 2 estates, enjoyed certain privileges by birth. These groups of members were exempted from paying taxes and enjoyed feudal privileges. All members of the third estate had to pay taxes to the state, to the clergy, and to the landlords, which included a direct tax called taille and a number of indirect taxes which were levied on articles like salt or tobacco. How the social circumstances led to the revolution. The social order in France had many inequalities. French society was classified in 3 estates or groups. First estate was clergy people who performed religious ceremonies in the church. Second estate was nobility or people belonged to a highest social class who had special titles such as duke, duchess, etc. Third estate was common people, which consisted of businessmen, merchants, lawyers, peasants, landless laborers, and servants. A number of offices and positions in the administrations were reserved for nobles or upper class people. The clergy and nobles were privileged classes. They were exempted from paying taxes. Majority of the population belonged to the third estate. They had no social status or political rights like the right to vote, but they paid all the taxes. So they were discontented and wanted people's rule to overthrow the king's powers, fight against the high taxation and food scarcity. Now let us see the economic reasons for the French Revolution. In 1789, the French government was in a major financial crisis. The king borrowed huge money to maintain a lavish lifestyle. The government had borrowed heavily to fight Great Britain in 7 Years' War and to help American colonies in their War of Independence. So the debt of France rose very high and the state was forced to increase taxes. But the burden of paying the tax was on the common people or the third estate. Peasants were obliged to pay the tithes to the clergy and pay the feudal dues to the landlord. They had to work in the noble's household and fields, serve in the army, build the road, etc. The population of France rose greatly during 1780s. Sometimes drought and hail reduced the harvest. This increased the demand for food grains. The production of food grains could not keep pace with the demand, so the price of bread, which was the staple diet of the people, rose rapidly. The wages of workers also did not increase with the rising prices of food grains. So the shortage of food grains led to the rise in price, riots and death. It is called subsistence crisis. It means an extreme situation where the basic means of livelihood are endangered. How a subsistence crisis happens? Bad harvest leads to scarcity of grains and rising food prices. Then the poorest can no longer buy bread. It creates weaker bodies and causes diseases and food riots. This increases the number of deaths. Such a situation is called a subsistence crisis. Now let us focus on the political circumstances that led to the French Revolution. Louis XVI, the Bourbon King of France, was extremely autocratic and weak-willed king. He led a life of obscene luxury. The kings regarded themselves as representatives of God on earth and enjoyed unlimited powers. Louis XVI ruled the state with the help of his queen, Marie Antoinette, who spent the public money for her personal expenses. The rulers were weak, immoral, corrupt, inexperienced, and incapable. The whole administration was corrupt, and often the high posts in the administration were auctioned. How the intellectual circumstances caused a revolution in France. Within the third estate, some were rich and educated. Peasants used to participate in revolts against increasing taxes and food scarcity. Some groups of the third estate had become prosperous and had access to education and new ideas. As a result, a new social group emerged in the 18th century. They come to be known as the middle class, which included professionals such as clerks, lawyers, or administrative officials. This new group earned their wealth through expanding overseas trade and by manufacturing woolen and silk textiles that were either exported or bought by the richer members of society. They were educated and believed that no group in society should be privileged by birth. Rather, a person's social position must depend on his merit. A new form of government was proposed by Rousseau based on a social contract between people and their representatives. Similarly, Montesquieu proposed a division of power within the government between the legislative, the executive, and the judiciary. In the USA, this model of government was put into force. The intellectuals challenged the divine right of king and absolute monarchy. Philosophers like John Locke, Rousseau, and Montesquieu proclaimed the doctrine of equality of man and sovereignty of people. Their ideas were discussed and spread among the common people through newspapers, books, pamphlets, and social and political clubs. What was the immediate cause? Louis XVI planned to impose further taxes to meet the expenses. On 5th May 1789, Louis XVI called a meeting of the Estates General to pass proposals for new taxes. Estates General was a political body to which all the three estates could send their representatives. It functioned as an advisory body to the king. According to the old principle, each estate had one vote only. The first two estates, the clergy and nobility, shared many privileges and their votes went in favor of the king always. But members from the third estate put forward a different proposal. Rather than one vote for each estate, they demanded each member would vote or would have one vote. King rejected this proposal. As a result, members of the third estate walked out in protest and led to the outbreak of revolution. The outbreak of the revolution. On 20th June, members of third estate led by Mirabeau and Abbesius assembled in an indoor tennis court stadium. They declared themselves a national assembly or a parliament. They swore not to disperse till drafted a constitution that would limit the powers of monarch. During this time, France had a severe winter and bad harvest. Due to the severe winter, bread price rose and people had to spend hours in long queues to buy their bread. Rumors spread that the lords of the manor hired bands of brigands to destroy the ripe crops. In fear, peasants started looting hoarded grain and burned down documents containing records of manorial dues. Bakers exploited the situation and hoarded the food items. On 14 July, the agitated crowd stormed and destroyed the forted prison Bastille. They expected to find storing of food items there. Peasants attacked chattogs where nobles live and looted the stored food grains. So large number of nobles fled from their houses. Finally, Louis XVI agreed to recognize the National Assembly formed by the Third Estate. He agreed to check his powers by a constitution. On 4th August 1789, the National Assembly formed by the Third Estate passed a decree abolishing feudal system of obligations. So tithes were abolished, lands owned by the church were confiscated, and members of first two estates had to give up their privileges. France became a constitutional monarchy. The National Assembly formed by the Third Estate drafted the Constitution by 1791. It limited the powers of monarchy. King's powers were assigned to different institutions like the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. Thus, France became a constitutional monarchy from absolute monarchy. The Constitution began with the Declaration of the Rights of Man and Citizens. The right to life, freedom of speech, freedom of opinion, equality before the law were established as natural and inalienable rights. That is, these rights belong to each human being by birth and could not be taken away. Though it says universal rights, women in France did not have equal rights that men enjoyed. They did not have the right to liberty, property, and the resistance to oppression. They did not have any representation in the formulation of laws. Anyhow, The Declaration of Rights had a major impact on the development of popular conceptions of individual liberty in worldwide. Freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of press, right to vote, right to liberty, abolition of censorship, right to education are some of the democratic rights we enjoy today. All these rights' origin could be traced to the French Revolution. Before the revolution, the people belonging to the first and second estate had enjoyed certain privileges. These people lost their privileges, and the French Revolution tried to bring equality to society. Legislature or National Assembly, which was indirectly elected, had the power to make laws. Now let us see how political symbols were used to convey the messages. Majority of men and women in the 18th century could not read or write. So images and symbols were used instead of printed words to communicate important ideas. Let us try to read the symbols used to convey the content of the Declaration of Rights. Chains were used to fetter slaves. The broken chain stands for the act of becoming free. The bundle of rods stands for strength in unity. It was the emblem of authority. The eye within a triangle radiating light. The all-seeing eye stands for the knowledge. The rays of the sun will drive away the clouds of ignorance. An ornamented staff was a symbol of royal power. A ring has neither beginning nor end. A snake biting its tail to form a ring was the symbol of eternity. A red Phrygian cap worn by a slave upon becoming free. Blue, white, and red are the national colors of France. The winged woman personified the law. The main object of 1791 Constitution was to limit the powers of the monarch. These powers were now separated and assigned to different institutions, the legislature, executive, and judiciary. Thus, France became a constitutional monarchy.